Guruve Gaurachandra Radhikaya Tadali Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Dudandi Swami, Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our Shiksha Gurus, Nityalila Purush Sri Gaura Govinda Maharaj, Nityalila Purush Sri Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj, Om Vishnupad Dudandi Swami Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Hare Krishna. So today is the appearance day of Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj. Very, very important member of our Guru Parampara. So, by glorifying them, Bhagavatam says, Akso phalam phalamidam tadrisahi. Perfection of the eyes is to see such a Vaishnav. Jiva phala tadrisha kirtanam hi. Perfection of the tongue is to glorify such a Vaishnav. Perfection of the body is to Gatra Sangamaha, to touch the lotus feet of such a Vaishnav. But Sudulabha Bhagavati hi loka. But such a Vaishnav is very rare in this world. So he was very intimate and eternal associate of Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur. I had good fortune of his darshan and stayed with him 2-3 weeks there in Mayapur. So he was the embodiment of Tranada Pisanichana, so humble person, so genuinely humble. That time I was not initiated, but I asked him, Maharaj, is there anything I can do for you? Is there any service? And he said, yes, give me your mercy so I can understand who is Lord Chaitanya. Can you imagine? Actually speaking, we feel embarrassed. But genuinely, from the core of heart, he was saying like that. So, especially Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur gave him the order, your pen should always move. So, whole life, so much he wrote, so much. His whole life, editing both the books of his Gurudev, the books of his god brothers, and his own articles. Even at the age of 100, he was writing. So he said to me, look, goes, my hand, I cannot even write. But still, because his Guru ordered him, even in old age, his pen would move. And beautiful books he wrote, beautiful books. If you get a chance to read his books, one is here, The Heart of Krishna. Have you read that, Prema? Huh? Eh? The Heart of Krishna. Show this book in Tamil. Have you read it? Yeah. You should read it. Very important book. The Heart of... Yes, it is. I don't think we have it here. The Heart of Krishna is the Vaishnavas. So just many, many articles about Vaishnava Parad. So today we want a little talk about his life of service. He was born in a very high class Brahmin family. And his previous brothers and sisters had died. So when he was born, his mother sold him to Lord Shiva for 4 conch shells. Today we found on the beach. So his nickname was Tinku. Tinku means 4 conch shells. Tinku. And very studious, but he wrote his own biography a little bit, and he said when he met the disciples of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and they first introduced him to the works, the proper works of the Gaudiyas. Then when he was studying in Calcutta, he came across Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he was so eager to hear. He said one day, He came home from studies and he had to run for the lecture. So he put his feet into his shoes, but in the shoes was some scorpion. Scorpion, understand? Scorpion. No rickshaw. Anyway, don't confuse her. Right. We have success. Okay, don't get too excited. So, he put his foot into his shoe, but in the shoe was one scorpion which bit him. And so much pain. But he said he had no time to be sick because Gurudev was giving lecture. So he ran, he so happy hearing the Harikatha, he not even felt the pain of his foot, no? So he writes, this was the time of my Purva Anurag. He said, just like boy and girl when first meeting, then how much attachment. So he said, this was my Purva Anurag, my new attachment, so strong attachment to his Gurudev, no? So, after some time, he joined the Math, and his Gurudev gave him the name Pranavananda. Pranav means Omkar. No? So he began his work of editing especially. So he made a daily newspaper, the Nadia Prakash, imagine. Someone asked Prabhupada, how is it possible to make a daily newspaper about the spiritual affairs of Bhagavan? Then Prabhupada said, look, even in one small city, Calcutta, we have 20, 30 different newspapers just about this city. And Vaikuntha and the whole material creation is only 1/4 the size of the spiritual world. Therefore we say there can be millions of newspapers describing this Vaikuntha Katha. Now, publishing is quite easy, right? Copy, paste, Google search, bang. But that time, you could imagine, when they want to print something, they have metal letters. If you go Devananda Gaudiya Math, they still have the old printing press. You look at it, it's like something from the Middle Ages. Each letter, like A, B, C, has its own little metal stamp, and you have to put that piece by piece by piece by, and then print one page, then the back page, and you can imagine how much work. But every day, for so many years, they printed this Nadia Prakash, and they would ship it to Calcutta and other places like that, no? As well as doing the other publications of Prabhupada. Prabhupada called, there are 3 mridangas. One is the drum, the clay mridanga, which goes for 50 meters, 100 meters sound. Then there is the sannyasi, the Chaitan mridanga, the conscious mridanga, who vibrates Haridwani, the sound of Harikatha. But he called the Brihad mridanga, the huge mridanga, he called that the printing press. Because the sound, the printing press would spread Harikatha all over the globe. No? So he was given so much responsibility, all the publications of his Gurudev, and his Gurudev printing in so many languages, English, Urdu, Bengali, then the South Indian languages, Sanskrit. So his full life he was engaged in that. No? He was there the last when Prabhupada left this world in 1936. He was doing that seva. Then he said, he was there thinking, what will happen to me when Prabhupada leaves? He was thinking. So he kept the chest and wept like that. Then Prabhupada blessed him and he went outside. Then the news came, Prabhupada had left this world. So, and like many people who very quickly tried to establish their own separate movements, for his whole life he remained pretty much engaged just helping his god brothers. Especially he was very attached to Bhakti Daita Madhav Maharaj. So many years he just lived there serving under the guidance of his god brothers. So yes, he had we can speak so much. Then in old age he made his own temple, Gopinath Gaudiya Math, there in Ishodan Mayapur. So What can we say about him? He had a very intimate relationship with Gurudev. Very intimate. Gurudev said when he first joined the temple, maybe 1946, 1947, at that time his Gurudev was living in Chinchura. Chinchura means north of Calcutta, Hooghly. So when Gurudev joined the mat, he lived there. At that time Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj was also living there. So for 6 months Gurudev was like his servant, serving him. Then Gurudev said when he left home, the only thing he brought from home was one drinking lota for drinking water. Then Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj would always joke about Gurudev, oh, this is your last attachment. This is your family attachment, you cannot give it up. They would joke like that. Then one day, Srila Puri Maharaj was very fond of taking bath in the Ganga, and Gurudev also. So they went to take bath, and Gurudev put his lota there in the gamshas. They took bath, and some wave came and took the gamshas, the cloth, and took the lota. Then Srila Puri Maharaj came, where's all my cloth? Oh Maharaj, it must have been taken in the Ganga. Then Srila Puri Maharaj, as if angry, he said, you are a useless fellow. All you know is how to do is print books. You are a useless fellow. So whenever Gurudev would make a publication in Hindi, then he would send that publication to Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj. And Gurudev would say, this is the result of your curse upon me. Because Vaishnava curse is always a blessing. So his anger of Vaishnava is always some blessing. So Gurudev would say, this is your blessing. And he'd say Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj would have become unlimitedly happy receiving these publications of Gurudev. Because Gurudev, very importantly, what did he do? All the books of the Goswamis that were locked in Bengali or Sanskrit, then Gurudev translated all of them into Hindi, the national language, so that all north, west, east and south could also get access to the teachings of especially Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the 6 Goswamis, see Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So in that way they had a very intimate relationship. Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj would say, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he is the ultimate weapon against the Babajis. In 1996, I took initiation. Then at the end of that year, Gurudev went to Australia. So we went to Australia with him. Then the beginning of 97, Gurudev came here to Malaysia, first time. What year you met Gurudev?
1996,
Right, 1996, 97. Right, yes. So Gurudev came from Australia to Malaysia. Then we went to Puri, and we spent like weeks in Puri. It was great, so amazing time. That time Srila Puri Maharaj was already more than 100 years old. So Gurudev went to have his darshan. We also went. And Gurudev was asking many questions about Siddha Pranali and the Babajis and all these things, and very high topics, and Puri Maharaj was answering all these things. So Gurudev and Puri Maharaj had very intimate relationship. That time one day Puri Maharaj said to him, before Gurudev was initiated, I never thought I would make disciples, but if you want, I will give you initiation. Puri Maharaj said to Gurudev. So Gurudev would laugh, I am his first disciple, like that. So very intimate relationship, very close relationship he had. Especially after the disappearance of Prabhupada, he had very intimate relationship with Bhakti Rakshak Srila Goswami Maharaj. They were very close. So all his godbrothers had so much affection for him. And he was so humble, so humble. There was one devotee who criticized him because Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj was so expert in puja. Not like us, putting the offering on, then go and take a shower, and then where's the offering gone, who knows? No. Very careful he was in Thakurji Seva. Every day he would spend 3-4 hours doing deity Thakurji Seva every morning. So also he would install most of the deities around the world. Most of the deities of the Gaudiya Math everywhere, that was installed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj. Oh, welcome. Katha's almost finished, it's safe to come. Like the deities in Devananda, the deities in Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math, that was installed by him. Gurudev called him for the installation of those deities. Radha Vinod Bihari there. And who knows what other deities, but most of the deities in the Gaudiya Math were established by him. So people would call him Pujari Maharaj. You know Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj? So today we're at his appearance day, we are talking about him. So because he was always engaged, he very knew all the shalagrams, no? If you have it, don't think all the shalagrams are the same, no? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described 24 different Vaikuntha Murtis, that is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. According to the position, Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, which position, whether this is the deity of Damodar or Govinda or Gopina or whatever, So Srila Puri Maharaj was very expert in that. He could look at the shalagram with some magnifying glass, and he could tell which is the position of the Sankha, the Concha, which is the position of the lotus, which is the position of Sudarshan Chakra, which is the position of the club. He would look. Then he would look in the book. Oh, this is deity of Damodar, this is deity of Nrsingadev, this is deity of Gopal, like this. Very expert. And how intimate he was with the deities. Many stories are there. One night, he started feeling so much fever. So strong fever. Then he called Pujari. Something must be wrong in the deity room. You go and look late at night. Then Pujari, it was winter time, Pujari had put some electric heater. And this heater had set fire to the blanket of Thakurji. So Pujari came down and he saw this blanket had caught on fire. That's why deity was burning, like the shalagram. That's why Srila Puri Maharaj had fever. So he used to say like that, any offense we do, that goes to the Guru. Deity always says about herself, always seek why offense everyone's doing. In Thakurji's seva, deity's seva, So because he was so much absorbed in seva, then someone criticized him because everyone was attracted to him. So one devotee said, oh, Puri Maharaj, he is Kanishta Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari. Because there are 3 levels of devotee. So Kanishta Adhikari is very attached to the deity, but not attached to the Vaishnava's service, not attached to hearing from Vaishnavas. Therefore said, Na tad bhaktisu chanyasu mad bhakta prakita smita, Krishna says. Who is very absorbed in my archan, my worship, but cannot behave properly with the Vaishnavas, cannot behave properly with the ordinary persons. That is called Kanishta Adhikari. A Madhyam Adhikari, their symptom, Ishwaratada Dinasu Balisheti Kripati. What is it? Ishwaratada Dineshu. They have prema for Ishwara, for Bhagavan. Ishwaratada. Baliseti Kripati. They have affection, mercy towards the innocent. Kripa Maiti Kripa Apeksha Yakoroti Samadhyama. They neglect the envious persons. Neglect. Ramvijay, how everyone can be together when they're envious? Then we are not Uttamadhikari, everyone come. We are not that level. Therefore we have to protect ourselves. Who is favorable for my Guru? I make friend. Who is unfavorable, I must neglect. Who is like equal, I make friend, and who is less, I give mercy. Otherwise, if we associate with wicked-minded people, we will fall down. We are not on that level, Uttamadhikari. So, and of course, Uttamadhikari, their symptom, Bhagavad Bhavanatmana, they see the Supreme Lord everywhere and in everything. So, Kanishadhikari is the lowest devotee. So when someone called Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj a Kanishadhikari, instead of becoming angry, he became very happy. Oh, finally I became Adhikari. I achieved one level of Vaishnavism. I am very happy. I am very happy. In this way he manifested his greatness. He was always doing pranam. Hundreds of times a day he would do pranam. If anyone give him anything, a banana, 1 rupee, he would put on the feet of Prabhupada, his Guru, and put on his own head. So even though he was so high, like Acharya, Vaishnav, Sarvabhauma, but still always thinking himself, I am lower than the lowest. In this way, all Prabhupada, Saraswati Thakur's qualities all reflect in his heart. So, he lived for many years in Ambika Kalna. Ambika Kalna is the railway station before Navadvip. And there many Vaishnavas resided, like the incarnation of Subal, Gauridas Pandit. The father of the wives of Nityananda Prabhu, Gauridas and Suryadas Pandit. Many Vaishnavas lived in Ambika Kalna. So there was one old temple of Ananta Basudev. And for 22 years, Maharaja did the seva of that deity. 22 years. Living where? Didn't even have his own room. He just lived on the veranda of the temple. Then the king of that area was very much impressed and donated that temple to him. Many stories of him. One time he went to Jagannath Puri and he was there gazing at the beauty of Jagannath. Then some thief was placing his hand in his pocket to steal his money. Because if you've been in Ratha Yatra time in Puri, then hundreds of thousands of people all pushing up. It's like a thief's paradise. So someone was putting their money again and again in Maharaja's pocket to steal the money. But Maharaj was not paying attention. He was gazing at Jagannath. Then his servant, oh Maharaj, be careful. This man is stealing from you. Again and again. Then Puri Maharaj became very upset. Let him have this money. Who cares about that? Let him keep it. I am having the priceless darshan of Lord Jagannath and you are making me worried about 5 or 10 rupees that's in my pocket. In this way he also expressed his supreme attachment for the deities. And also he was very attached to chanting the holy names. Very attached. I heard his Gayatri would take 2 hours in the morning. Gayatri, just Gayatri. And every day he would chant 64 rounds a day. Bhagwan. We can do sometimes, but then it shrinks. But he would do every day of his life 64 rounds, and he would preach this to everyone. Unless one does 64 rounds a day, he is considered fallen. Turni, how's it going with the 64? How about the 6.4? Or the 0.64? Anyway, we should do like that, especially sannyasi brahmachari have not too many other activities. But Gurudev would say, at least my disciples should chant 32. Right, Turni, how are you going with the 32? Gurudev said, who cannot chant 32, they are not even human. They are not human beings. They have so much high level of bhajan, so we should try for that. At least some days we are not very busy, we should try for that. Also, he had supreme Nishra in Ekadasi. Even in old age. I personally saw him in old age. All day of Ekadasi he would chant holy name, and all night he would not sleep. Who are you writing to? Come on. Huh? Forget her for 1 hour. No, it says the Nirjala Ekadasi means one should not eat or drink anything, but also night should not sleep. If you read Hari Bhakti Vilas, there is many such statements like that. Anyway, so he would do like that, Nirjala Ekadasi, and not sleep all night. All night, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Really, he was very much ideal. So we can speak about his glories, but also want to add my own little personal thing. Not that this is Maharaja's glories, but that I personally saw. So in 1995, we were collecting in Singapore, Malaysia. And it was sometimes very difficult to do that thing, So I gave up and went to Mayapur. That time I thought, where I'll stay? Because that time I was in ISKCON. And I thought, let me stay here, Puri Maharaj. Somehow I had heard about Puri Maharaj. And we should always try for the best association. So I had good luck, like 2-3 weeks I stayed there with him. So every afternoon, every evening, his room was open. Then you could sit there 1-2 hours every evening and people would ask questions and many things were there. No? So we got some little chance to see his humility from some close distance. So that time I gave him one magazine printed from Bhubaneswar. So when he became very happy and he was reading. Then he said, we have also published something that is the Heart of Krishna, this book here. Now it's in Tamil. Then he said to me, this book is full of many mistakes. He says, no seriously educated person will take us seriously. I remember he said that. So our publications, we should try to make a very high standard. No? I remember giving him some bananas. Then he gave them back to me and I was shocked because I thought he would keep them all. No? But anything he would always give it prasad. And many questions people could ask. No? That time there was one Frenchman there. And French are a little strange. Gurudev would often say, all French are crazy. Gurudev would say. Of course, exceptions may be there, like Srila Maharaj, but most, unfortunately. So this Frenchman asked, Maharaj, why you are giving initiation very quickly? French. Because in ISKCON it's not so easy, right, Charuni? You have to be there some minimum time, living in the temple 6 months, and following all rules and regulations, and then you get a letter from the temple president, then you can approach the Guru, then like 6 months he puts you on the wait list. Anyway, these days I heard the wait list for some ISKCON Gurus is like 5 years, 10 years. But Gaudiya Math is not like that. Like Gurudev would often, hey you're taking initiation? No. Come tomorrow morning, like that, straight away. So in ISKCON we see, in Gaudiya Math we see like that, because Guru is some high mercy. No. Guru Maharaj would say, initiation is one chance to do bhajan, to begin bhajan. So Srila Puri Maharaj would also give quite liberally, generously, sannyas. Guru Maharaj, anyone would come, he would give sannyas, diksha, harinam, like that. So this Frenchman asked, Maharaj, why you are giving initiation very seriously, quickly? And Maharaj became very serious. He said, what can I do? What can I do? They are fasting, they are begging me, they are sitting outside my door. Maharaj, give me diksha. Maharaj, give me diksha. What can I do? And then he became very serious. He said, but all are cheating me. They come, they take diksha, then they disappear. All are cheating me, he said. I wish I had one real disciple, he said. And he pointed to his hand. You see his hand, because he was already like 101 or... Look, his hand was shaking. Before I became Guru, I was never sick. Now look at me. My health is destroyed. My bhajan is destroyed. When I leave my body, I don't know what will happen to me. Where will I go? Such a difficult seva to be Guru. He said like that. I know. On what level he is on, you know. So I remember that conversation. Another time someone asked him about Raganuga Bhakti. He became angry, you know. This Shashikala. You are talking to me about Raganuga Bhajan? He said. And your mind goes everywhere when you chant Harinam? And you are telling me about Raganuga Bhajan? First deserve, then desire. That was his favorite, like one motto, one quote. Like Gurudev's quote, Guru Nishtha is the backbone of bhajan, he would say. So Srila Puri Maharaj would say, first deserve, then desire. First attain the qualification, and then practice that type of bhajan. So, yes, and he was looking after his old godbrothers. I remember there were 2 old sannyasis down there, his godbrothers. One of the godbrothers would always criticize him, but still, he always kept him there. So he was very liberal, very generous. Gurudev would say, when he speak katha, he would close his eyes and forget everything. How many is there? 1 or 500 or 5,000? He not care. He closed his eyes and just fully absorbed in Harikatha. So he had these many qualities. No? So we had a long day, we traveled a long way, so we just want to speak something of his glories. No? So if he gives mercy to us, then we can stay in this line of bhajan. Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj said, no? What is the mercy of the Guru Parampara? That we can stay in this line. That is the mercy of the Guru Parampara, right? Ram Vijay, Maya is so strong, how we can stay? That is mercy of Guru Parampara. So when he left this world, I think he was 101 or 102 years old, and his samadhi was done there in Mayapur. He came, so anyway, what can we say? Very exalted, extremely learned, wonderful writer, very compassionate, expert on all his dealings. If only 1% of Maharaja's qualities would come on us, then our life could be successful. But Parahamsa Varam Paramata Patim Patito Dharane Kritaveshi Yatim Yatiraja Gane Porishevya Padam Pranamami Shada Prabhupada Padam. Prabhupada, Saraswati Thakur, all his followers were like that. He was Paramahamsa Varam, the best of the Paramahamsas, but his disciples also that quality. So today, unfortunately, we could not be there in Vrindavan, but Maharaj goes every year. Every year when we're there, we go and give pranam to his bhajan place there in Dauji. Very beautiful little temple there. So today we remember his good qualities. Any questions from the people? Sri Bhakti Pramoda Puri Gosvami Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare. Come on guys, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gopramanandi, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Today we went to Batu Caves. Amazing. All the way up. Yes, we went up. And nice program we had in Penang. Nice, small but very nice. And hopefully next year, first time we went, so who is there, what is there, we have no idea. Tomorrow we're going to Johor, 2 days program, then Sunday we'll be back here for a Sunday program. Hopefully a few more will turn up. Johor, 2 days, Friday, Saturday, then Sunday we come back. Okay, so, and then on Monday we go back to Vrindavan for Kartik. Hare Krishna.